Let's go.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. It is Saturday, and we are live on Health. Sorry. I'm so excited this afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
It's nice and shiny outside.
It is.
We're hoping that you're having a wonderful day and you are doing all what you want to do for Saturday. It is
Yes.
a beautiful day outside. I'm hoping that you could get a lot done today. So once again, we are here, and I do have our favorite guest, Miss Trudy.
Thanks,
She has been
Avril.
sharing a lot of information regarding our financial house. And once again, I just want to thank her for taking her time to come on to share her information, to share her experience with us regarding finances. I will not let you stay too long. I will just introduce you to our guest and we get right into it. And this is Miss Trudy Sherhoff. Welcome, Trudy, once again.
Excellent. You got my surname spot on. Thank you.
Is
All
it
right.
Holland or?
It is. It's Dutch. It's Dutch.
Okay, this Dutch. All
Yeah.
right.
So it's the pronunciation was definitely how I pronounce it as well.
Oh, well, that means my German did not flaunt me. That's good.
No, no, that's great. So,
Once
so this
again, welcome.
afternoon, excellent. Thank you. So Avril, this afternoon, what we want to discuss, and I mentioned it last week when we were here last time, was life insurance. The question is, do you need it, and is it worth it? Yeah, and it's something that people they have a hard time deciding or figuring out. They don't want to discuss it. It's a bit of a taboo around life insurance when you think about it, right? And that's why I wanted to bring up specific points on it, just to have people really think about what the purpose of life insurance is. And as usual, Avril, I have my slides. I have,
Go
so
right
let's
ahead, Trudy. I just want you to speak a little louder for us because it looked like maybe
sure.
I'm not that loud enough, but I'm not hearing you loud enough. So I'm not sure if the audience are hearing you loud enough. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing us clearly, please put some love in the chat so we know that you are hearing us
Yeah.
clearly.
Yep, that will be perfect. Let us know if you're having a problem hearing us or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as I said, Avril, today we'll be discussing life insurance. Do you need it, and is it worth it?
Yeah.
And I want to show you how it fits into your financial house first, so that people are aware where it should fit in, where you should start or look at having your life insurance set up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we showed last week, we did a little diagram for your financial house.
Yeah.
And just at the bottom, your foundation, the most important part of your house is the life insurance. That's where it comes in, or the income protection, as we often call it as well. All right. And we talked about emergency fund, budgeting, and we'll talk about having a will, all of that at another time as well. All right. But we see here that as any foundation of a home, you need to have life insurance so that you can build and have everything secure. Okay. And of course, we discussed, the structure, the debt management, the savings management, and then having your other goals and dreams. So today we're discussing part of your foundation, right? So as I asked in the beginning, what is the purpose of life insurance, right? It helps to financially protect those that you care about when you pass away prematurely, all right? We don't know if and when it's going to happen. All right. And so, because it's something that is out of our control, the best thing that we do is what we have in our control is having something there for just in case. And that's the purpose. That's one of the purposes of life insurance. It also allows you to help with your family's future, even when you're not there anymore. All right. It makes plans that you may have put in place before you may have passed. The family can still get it done, right? Even though God forbid, you're not there anymore, and that's huge. That's huge. You could also use the life insurance to pay off any outstanding debt, so you don't leave it as a burden to your family, right? Imagine your wife having to figure out how to, pay the mortgage or, finish paying off for the car when, you're one income short, right? So with a life insurance policy in place, these are the kind of things that you're able to take care of, and it just lessens the burden on the family. Yeah. All right. So another important question that we have to ask is, why have life insurance? All right.
Yeah.
So, and I asked this question because, as I said in the beginning, it's a bit of a taboo subject. Like people say, I'm just wasting my money. Nothing's going to happen to me. Everything's going to be fine. All right. But let's look at it this way. Do you have car or house insurance or home insurance? Right.
Yeah.
And we actually have to legally drive a car. We have to.
Oh,
And
yes.
also before you get a mortgage, that's right. Before you get a mortgage, you need to have house insurance, or else the lender is not going to lend you the money. Right?
Yeah.
So why do we do this? It's because these are very expensive and valuable assets to us. So we insure it for that. Okay. So it also provides a financial cushion so that if anything happens, it's not going to wipe out our savings, or we don't have to go into a huge debt. Right.
Mhm.
So say, for example, your car gets written off, or something like that. To be able to have to find money to buy another car, that's huge. That's huge. So, and you probably still have to pay off for that other car as well.
Exactly.
So,
See,
that's right.
basically, you're dealing with the two debt in one go.
Exactly. So it provides that financial cushion so that you don't put yourself into further debt as well. So you're able to, recoup and even get that asset back at times. All right. So why not protect your income? Right? It is an asset that is even more valuable than your car or your house.
Mhm.
Right? We're able to pay for our car and our house because of that income. So if that income is no longer there, that's a big deal. So if we protect our car and our house with insurance, we should definitely protect our income. And that's what life insurance is doing, essentially. Okay.
All right. So, sorry,
Go ahead.
Trudy, before you go on, it's just important of why we really need life insurance, because there's so many things. I mean, life insurance, income protection, whatever you call it, it is important to have.
Yes.
Especially with young families, I would say.
That's right. And that's actually what the next slide is, what we're going to talk about. Yeah, that's also great point. Great point. Right. So when should you buy life insurance? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that you have someone that depends on you financially, you need to have life insurance. Be that a spouse, your spouse may be working, but again, what usually happens was when you combine your income, you live according to that income, right? And then if you or one of you is no longer there, their lifestyle has to change. All right. So that's one impact. Imagine if you have kids. When you bring kids into the equation, right? You make plans about what you want to do for your kids as they're preparing, and you're preparing to go into adulthood, right? You want them to get them the right education. You want them to go to university. I mean, that's what all good parents want to do for their kids as well, right? But then if you are not there, those dreams are just go away, or they're completely shattered, right? So with having life insurance in place, you are still able to have that future plan proceed as well. Okay. And what it does as well, why you should also buy life insurance, is so that you don't leave a financial burden on your loved ones. Okay. And when I say financial burden, it could be, again, the mortgage, because that's one of the largest debts that we have out there. When you take on a mortgage, you don't leave that to the other spouse or the remaining spouse to deal with. All right. Also, something like, your final expenses, right? Again, we often see this, the GoFundMe, people reaching out on social media and so forth.
Yes.
They're able to get money just to bury a loved one.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the purpose of life insurance, getting that in place so you don't have to depend on the public to help you with this, right?
Okay.
Right. And it covers, for potential risk of losing, earning power, especially in the period of early to the midpoint of your life. Right. And we'll go a bit more into that, as I have a great diagram that kind of brings that all together. Right.
Yeah.
As to why having life insurance, especially early to the midpoint of your career, is so
Yes.
important as well.
Awesome.
Right.
But I think,
go ahead.
sorry about that. I just think that the audience really need to know that kind of information, because it is important that we have that life insurance in place. Whether you are young or you're older, or you're in middle age, you really need that income protection. And I don't think anybody realized that how important it is until something happens.
Yes.
And you have to create a GoFundMe page to help your loved one to bury that person, or even to raise funds for somebody who has cancer or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Terminal illness. Yeah, absolutely. So life insurance helps, with facing these things as well, right?
Okay.
And the final point here is, the younger you are, and the better physical shape you're in, the less expensive life insurance is going to be. All right.
Yay.
So, your premium, that's what determines your premium, how young you are and how healthy you are. Right.
Exactly.
And we don't want to admit it, but as we get older, our health goes down. I might be feeling fantastic today, but my blood work or something else may say something different. But
exactly.
it just shows that do it as early as possible so that you don't have to spend too much on it.
Especially if you're single.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is a diagram that I wanted to share, this illustration. It's called the theory of decreasing responsibility. And so what we see is that, in the early years, you're starting off your career, you've just got married, you're looking at bringing kids into the picture and so forth. But remember, you're just starting off your career. You're now starting to save money at that point in time. So you don't have a lot of money. But you have goals and dreams that you have to achieve at that point, because you want to get your first house, right? You have kids that you want to be able to prepare them and send them to university, right? You have other debts, buying a car and so forth. So all of those things, they come in, and those are high ticket items, but you may not have the money to cover those things. And so that's why it's so important that if you have a loss of income at that point in time, it's going to be devastating to the family if one of the spouses is not there, right? So having the life insurance to cover you, especially in that time when you're growing, that midpoint, that early years to midpoint, is huge. It's crucial to have life insurance to cover at that point. Okay, and what happens eventually is that as you go through your career, you have a great plan of saving and investing your money, as we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, preparing for your retirement. Your money is building. You find out that when you reach to retirement, you have the money to retire because you saved your money and you invested. What then happens is you don't have the need for a company to insure you. You become self-assured. You can take care of yourself because you have the funds to do that. All right. Right. And also at that point in time, your kids are grown.
Everybody leave the house already.
That's right. You don't have to put out food for those kids anymore. University is done. They've graduated. They're working. They have great jobs. In the real world, this could happen. Also, your debt is lower.
Yeah.
Right? Mortgage is paid off. And you're good. Your house is yours. You have so much equity in your home. It's fantastic. So you have assets that are yours. You're no longer paying for it. All right. So at that point, as I said, you're self-insured. You don't need life insurance at that point in time. Right? Life insurance is for that specific period of time, and that's it. That's it. And that's the important part for people to realize, right? That it is for a period of time that you need life insurance. But for that period of time where things are uncertain, right? I mean, when you think about it, you're in a car, you're driving, you're minding your own business, things can happen on the street and you have no control of it, you know? So it's about protecting for the uncertainties. And that's what the purpose of it is for. Okay. So last question, is life insurance worth it? And how I like to approach this question is by asking the audience the question. What is life going to be like for your family if you are no longer there? Right? If you are no longer there, what is it going to be like? You know, for your spouse, how are they going to be able to handle without your income? Right? They still have the kids there. They still have to make sure that, you know, they have food being paid for. They want to make sure that the kids get the best education they can. If your income is suddenly no longer there, what is life going to be like for them? What about for your children? Right? Physically, their father or mother is no longer there. But then suddenly they find that their future is just limited because, you know, at that point, they're not working, but they may have goals and dreams that they want to achieve. That, you know, mom and dad said, yep, we're going to get you to university, and suddenly your income is no longer there. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Right? You have outstanding debts like the mortgage to pay, leaving that to the, you know, responsibility of your other spouse, your remaining spouse. It's huge. It's huge. All right. Imagine them, they still have their income coming in, but they have other things to take care of. Right. But then having to, you know, figure out, okay, how can I still meet the mortgage each month? Right. You don't want your family to be out on the street because they can't afford to pay the house, pay for the mortgage each month. Right. And then final expenses. And this is what you raised as well with the GoFundMe, where a lot of people are depending on that. Right.
Mhm.
These are things that life insurance helps to take care of. So you don't have to reach out to the public and to strangers to ask for money to do this, right? You know, usually with you know, funeral, and these are private matters at times. So you want to be able to deal with this on your own as well, right? And having you know, life or income protection allows you to be able to do that as well, right? So I want to start with this. I look at a life insurance or income protection as a love letter to your remaining ones. What I'm in fact saying is that I am no longer there, but I still want you to be able to achieve your best, go out, you know, get the best education you can. And this is how I am doing this, by leaving this money for you so that you can achieve that. Right. So it's interesting that, you know, a lot of people don't want to pay for it because they're wondering, how can I benefit from it?
Mhm.
But you have to remember, it's not for you.
Yeah.
It's for the remaining ones. It's for your family, for your kids, for your spouse, so that they don't have to, you know, feel that extra burden. And that is important. And that's why I refer to it as a love letter, because it definitely is.
I am totally agree with you, because you are not there and all those expenses are still going on. They are still happening.
Yes.
You know, it's not because you are gone that the debt is gone.
That's right. That's right, exactly. So it still needs to be taken care of, right? And it's an unselfish act.
Yeah.
Getting life insurance in place for your family, right? Making sure that they can see about themselves, right? So that's the topic that we wanted to discuss today with our listeners, and we will be continuing for the next 1 or 2 weeks on some other aspects of life insurance, because I'm sure there are loads of questions people are wondering, right?
There are lots.
And one thing that people often ask is, okay, fine, life insurance. Yes, it is important, because I'm hoping people are,
Yes,
you know,
knowledge
they're
in
in a
it.
point where, yes, I see what you're talking about, Trudy and Avril. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get it. But then
Yeah.
the next question is, how much do I need?
Yeah.
Right? How much life
Yeah.
insurance? And that's what we're going to discuss about another time. And also, they may be asking what type of life insurance I should get, because that's another big part that we want to discuss as well. So that will be upcoming in our next set of lives. Yeah.
Well, actually, another amazing topic. I know it's not as sexy as lingerie, but
It's not, but it has its purpose. It has its purpose. Absolutely.
it is needed,
Yes.
and sometimes we turn a blind eye when it comes to finances, especially life insurance,
Yes.
because we figure out, I'm healthy, nothing is going to happen to me,
Yes.
but what's about the spouse and the children that you leave behind if something happens to you?
That's right.
So they have to be protected as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know about this book. I think we can show the audience our favorite book
Yes.
here, if you can
Yes.
see. Can anybody see that?
Yep. I can
So,
see it clearly from my side.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it is a good eye opener if somebody could get this. It is really a good eye opener for life insurance. If you're interested in, knowing more and getting more information about life insurance, we will tell you as much as we know,
Mhm.
but information is important when you can get it yourself and you can read it yourself and you can see, yeah, what they're talking about is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I really need to protect my family because when I'm gone, who will protect them?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, if you have a mortgage and you are gone, the wife cannot continue paying it. Would they be on the streets?
With the other
That's a reality for some
responsibilities.
people.
That's right. That's right. And just to add another point to that, because often people think that it should only be the person that is working that should have life insurance, and
Mhm,
it's in fact not that way. I mean, think about it this way: if a stay-at-home mom
mhm.
passes, what the dad will have to figure out is who's going to take care of my kids because he still has to go to work.
Yeah.
Right, who's going to take care of the house and all of that, because then he's going to have to find money to do all of that and do everything that she was doing at that point. So life insurance, as I said, it's income protection, but it also it protects every aspect of the income, what your income is being used for, right? So it's a great way to look at it. And again, if anyone has any questions specifically, they're not sure if they need it and they want to discuss it, we're here for that. We're here to sit down with you and discuss it, and definitely we can help, right? Oh, and Atia, thank you so much for that point, especially with COVID.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because we
Especially
didn't,
with
yeah,
COVID.
we
Yes.
didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's right. That's
All
right.
of us had plans for 2020.
Yes.
Nobody saw COVID coming. So it is so important to
Absolutely.
have that information.
Absolutely.
Um,
You even with the vaccination, there is still a chance that we can get it. We have a better chance now, right? But if you have other medical issues as well, it can impact you. So get something in place. Get something in place. I want to highly encourage you to get something in place so that you're protected. You're
well,
absolutely.
that's a very, very good point that was brought up because
Thank you, Atia. Thank you so much for that.
very, very good point
Yeah,
because this actually COVID has given us a lot of stuff to think about.
it has. It has. For sure. For sure. In
Okay.
every aspect of our life, how we save money, how we prepare to, protect our income. Yes, it has definitely changed that for sure.
Yeah. And it also shows us why family is so important.
Yes,
Spending
absolutely.
time with family as well. But anyway, this is for another topic. But truly, it is a pleasure having you always here on your financial house, sharing all that beautiful information with us. Very informative. And a word of caution in this book, it says that don't wait until you need life insurance to get it.
Yeah.
This is a word of caution for all of us.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's the worst thing is to have an afterthought. If I had it, what would I do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you may think that having life insurance is so expensive, but you know what? Let's talk. Let's talk about it. reach out to us. Let's discuss with you. So, you get enough life insurance for what you need it for. You're not paying for what you don't need it for. You need to just have what for what assets you have that coverage. And that's very important. But again, this is going to be something personal that we sit down and discuss with people so that we can figure that out with them. So as usual, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. We will reach out to you, and private message us on Facebook. We would love to be able to help you, answer some questions, discuss some stuff with you. And again, you have our email addresses there as well so that you can reach out.
Well, truly, once again, thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us on this lovely Saturday afternoon. It's nice and shiny outside. It's cold, but we want to thank you for taking time to be with us on Your Financial House. And as Trudy mentioned, you can find her on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Her email address is in the chat. You can get information if you need more information about the topic that we discussed today. We ask that you please reach out. Don't be shy. Just reach out to us. All of us was in the same situation. Until you talk, nobody know that you have that same situation with that other person. So we are here to help, and Trudy took her time, and she's passionate to help people, especially in finances. So we ask that you take your time, get information, and obviously share this video with someone you think that needs it, and you will be helping somebody else who is in the same situation as you. So once again, Trudy, I want to thank you on this lovely Saturday afternoon, taking time, sacrificing your family to be with us here on Saturday.
This is needed. This is needed. No, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for your comments. Thank you for your questions. And we will be here next Saturday. So if you know someone could benefit from those videos, and that information, please share this information with them and ask them to come and join us on Saturday so they could learn something new. Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Trudy, you have any last words?
No, that's it. If anyone wants to, look at our previous lives as well, again, they can just PM us and we can forward the links to them so that they can see it. But yeah, we are definitely available to help.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Bye-bye.